Yes, yes, we are back. Mecca Music Special Edition tonight on Get Yourz Radio. Myself, E-Dub.
Come on.
I got my boy, Melodramatic. Once again, we have Cooler Ruler Divine is going to be our guest, and he's on right now. Music of My Time, which will be out tomorrow. Finally. Cooler Ruler, what's going on?
You. It's time to get your. I'm here. I'm ready to do this thing.
All right.
Salute, brethren. Everything nice. Yes, sir. Salute. Salutations is in order.
No doubt.
Tomorrow's a big day. Yeah.
Yeah, finally, man. Listen, before we even, let's do it like this, man, because you know what? Like, I actually was looking forward to this night, man, because I've been looking forward to this. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this and waiting for this for like, what, 3 years, 4 years, maybe? So, let's have some fun, bro. Let's start it off like this. Before we get into the project that you got coming out tomorrow, this is what I would like to do. This is the music of my time. That's what you're putting out. It's a discography of about what you've done, more or less, because I know it's a lot more than what you're putting out tomorrow. But
yeah, this is only volume 1. People, it's only volume 1. Yeah.
So for people that, let's say, never heard of Cooler Ruler Divine, this is what I would like to do. I want you to give us an idea of who you are, but the way I want you to do it is I want you to let people know.
You gotta rap that shit, son.
No. I want you to let people know what, when, and what was it that molded you to be the person you are when it comes to the music, the DJing, and the production. Take us back to that point in time.
My childhood, and when I used to have to just rely on, like I was an introvert when I was really, really young, and I was relying on the radio. You know what I'm saying? The radio used to fascinate me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that brought me to where I am, I guess. You know? Hip hop was the best kind of music to fit my life, so. But it's not only pop that I like, you know what I mean? Of course, everything that's soul, everything that got some type of soul music, even if it's salsa or whatever. Got some soul, I dig it.
All right.
So.
Now let's take it from the beginning. You first got into DJing, right?
Yeah, and rapping like around the same time. Rapping first, cause I had no equipment.
Okay.
I had no equipment, but I could rap, you know.
Right. So let's start off with the MCing part then. When you decided that, when you started playing around with that, you know what I mean, name some artists that you were listening to at that time that sort of inspired you to even want to try to take on that task of an MC.
Yeah, this is gonna show my age for real, but
hey,
even though I was young at the time, like it was like Curtis Blow. I'm like remembering album covers, you feel me?
Okay.
Sugar Hill Gang, you know what I'm saying? Then Run DMC, like I thought they was the newcomer. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Okay. Now, just also before we keep going, we got to tell everybody, Cooler Ruler is from Queens. You know what I'm saying? Mobsdale, Rosedale. Shout out to the whole Rosedale, Mobsdale out there.
Yep, exactly.
So, would you say pretty much you were more influenced by cats that were from Queens more than any others? You know what I mean? Because you, since I know you rep Queens hard. You rep, especially Mobsdale, Rosedale. You rep that hard, man. Like,
Because,
go ahead.
Yeah, continue. I answer you. Go ahead.
No. I'm just saying, like, even in the early stages.
It's only about Queens.
Yeah.
No, it ain't about Queens. It's just that's what you know how everything happens at home. So it's like that's where you get all the experiences from. Where you spend your summers most of the time. It's just you want to pay homage to that because you feel like the rest of the world don't know what it's like over here. Like it's so great. You know what I mean?
Right.
One thing I hold dear is the fact that we right next to JFK Airport. So everybody that comes to New York practically comes, passes right by us. Like let me tell you one day, this day he lived not too far, but one day, this was like a long time ago, I was in one of the bodegas around here, and I just walked to the back to the refrigerator to, find a drink or whatever, and I looked over, this dude was on the phone beefing, and I was like, yo, excuse me, I walked past him. When I was seeing his face, it was Omar Epps. I was like, so what?
Oh,
Just like, yeah, like it was nothing.
Cool.
You know, I had to take my mind. I was like, oh, he probably just, you know, he just got out the airport or whatever, you know, something like that.
Right.
But it's
Rule, I got a question for you, man. Check this out. I just heard the track. I can't remember what the name of it is, man, but I like it, man. It's hot. You know what I'm saying? And you're doing good stuff. You know, you do your thing on the borders and everything, man. Right now, if the majors came to you with a deal, how would you go? Would you go in as a producer or would you go in as an MC?
Oh, good question.
And why?
Okay, I would try to more so coax them into, you know, giving me some type of label deal or something. And I would just, you know, I would be a feature MC on the label and, you know, for the most part a producer or like head of production team. But, you know, why? Because, I don't know, I guess it's like this young competition out here, you know what I'm saying? They like cold-blooded. They don't, you know, they really guard the fact that you've been around and, you know what I'm saying, and they just, you know, I don't know, I kind of feel like they're kind of closed-minded about this game, so I don't really want to par with them too much. But, you know, that's basically it. It's been real.
So you don't got your swag turned up over there, man? You don't got your swag turned up?
I'm trying to, you know, I'm my old school. They call me old school cooler. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at my old school and with this new school swag. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's up. It's way up.
Yo, I was telling the cat the other day, man. I ain't mean to disturb off topic, man. I was telling the cat the other day, yo, y'all saying swag because y'all got y'all pants down off your ass, right? I said back in the day, the era I'm from and the era that I grew up watching, these cats were fresh because they used to walk around with toothbrush just to clean off a pair of suede Pumas or clean off a pair of kicks. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That was important. Yeah, that was important. You know what I'm saying? But y'all got some shit called swag.
And you had to iron your pants off that. Yeah, no.
Word, yeah.
Now, we have belts in our leaves. We have belts in our leaves. Yeah. We rock my leaves. You know what I'm saying? But swag really, man, swag is only it's like a physical language. That's what swag is really. I don't know why they try to just over. They don't, like, everybody gravitates towards something new and they try to, you know, go overkill with it. You know what I'm saying? Unnecessarily just because of something new. But swag just means like you do things a little different from people in a way that other people want to do it too. That's all swag is, man.
Right, we was being fresh back in the day.
Yeah, doing that, you know. Swiped out back in the day. They wanted the day to actually.
So, Willa, so let's about, you know, as far as the music goes, you've done stuff. Yeah. You know, like I was saying earlier before you came on, I mean, you did a heavy bulk of the production on Lost Boyz album, their first album, Legal Drug Money. You've done, you know, production alongside of Jam Master Jay. You know, Easy Mo Beat. I mean, like, there's a long list of stuff that you've done, you know, before. Now, I found interesting, I saw you made a comment about how nowadays you find yourself surrounded by a lot of younger cats. And how is it working with the younger cats that are trying to come up, and with all of your history, like, do they understand fully exactly like who they're working with?
They respect it, surprisingly. They respect it. Like, cats, you know, they want to be, I guess, coattailing or alongside somebody. They, you know, not necessarily having to be coattailing, but, you know, they just want to work with somebody that's been there. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to, like, everybody that's around them that ain't been there. That has a shit with, you know, a crack load of advice for them that they don't want to hear. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
When I come around, like, everything I say to them pretty much makes sense. They like, yeah, why not? I should have thought of that. Yeah, you damn right, Lula. You know what I'm saying? So that's all they really like. If I had somebody like me, I would love to have somebody like me around back in the day. That way, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Somebody that won't help me somebody that already made the mistakes, so I won't make them. Basically.
So,
I'm bragging like a motherfucker over here, yo. Like, word, cool, yo, yeah, he mixed my shit down. That's right, word, true, he did. He did. That's cool, that's right. Yo, he got so big, yo. He told me, yo, he shut me down on Facebook, man. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? That's how, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, this cat, oh, all right, my bad. I'm not just fucking, man. I'm just fucking,
listen,
man.
Look, let me tell you something. Ruler has, like, yo, see, you know what it is, Mello? You don't know, like, Ruler's work ethic, like, I don't know, it's hard for me. Well, you know what? We have him on the line. We might as well let him explain. But he has, like, a funny work ethic, which actually I like a lot. And I think I told you this before, Ruler, that, like, yo, Ruler doesn't stop, bro. Ruler stays moving. He stays working. His mind is like, yo, Ruler could be working on a beat or something, and his mind is already thinking of something else. And, you know, like, I admire that. Huh?
Sometimes it's a problem. That's a problem. I'm jumping ahead of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I gotta contain myself at times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know something? But to me, I mean, I don't know how others see it, but I feel that in the way, because of the way you are, at the same time, you tend to get a lot of things done. I know you be having a lot of projects all over the place, but it's like you always have a concept. You always have something in the works. You always have a reason for why you're doing things a certain way. And I always admired that from day one, you know what I mean?
Yo, you know what impressed me, man? On some real? The day when y'all called me was like, yo, we about to record this over the phone right now. And I'm like, what did you do? Yo, for real, they serious? You know what I'm saying? I was like, word, that's what's up, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, Ruler, why did it take, listen, why did it take so long for you to decide to finally say, you know what, I'm tired of just kind of being on the background and the back part of it. I'm ready to let people know who Cooler Ruler Divine is once again. What took so long?
Because, like I said, man, it's like, you know, I guess maybe it was my problem too. Like something I needed to do. The young people dominate this game, you know. You know what I'm saying? They just really haven't been about, you know, like it should be this way, even though they like so wrong, but. I don't know. I just got the first one. I just said, man, look, it seemed like the perfect time. You know what I'm saying? Like a light bulb came on. Like a friend of mine told me, he said, yo, I told you to do this before, man. I went, oh, and I remember, I didn't realize you said that. And I was so caught up in other things. But right now, I guess it's the perfect time for it to just grab all the music, you know, all the work that I did with other people. You know what I'm saying? Brag on Twitter all day. They bragging on Facebook all day about, look, I did this, I'm with this person, I'm with this. And this person they with, and somebody ain't able to express or, you know what I'm saying? Like, they be bragging about nonsense. I'm like, okay, I want you to brag. I brag, and that's what's going to help.
Right. So,
it ain't about bragging. It's about, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really also, I'll come together. To really, you know what I'm saying? People, you know, people have respect. Like, you know, I'm trying to give them something worth, you know.
Right.
Y'all check it out.
Let's do this real quick, Willa. Let's play. I'm gonna play the song. It's the original version of Renee. I'm gonna play that real quick, and then we'll come back and I want to talk a little bit more about that and some of the other songs and stuff that you've worked on, especially that's on the album that's coming out tomorrow. So. Let's do that and we'll come back. So you're listening to Mecca Music on Get Yourz Radio. This is a special. What's that?
Yeah, I want to talk about the video too. Y'all saw the video?
Oh yeah. We're gonna talk about that. I like it. Matter of fact, there's some. Yeah. But trust me, we're gonna get to that, man, because there's something you say at the end of that video that was very interesting to me, and I want to know. Oh yeah.
No.
Yes, sir.
I know.
No. But check it out though. It's interesting, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I don't think I've really heard too many people go that route when it came to that subject. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You get what I mean? So it's interesting. We're gonna talk about that in a few minutes. So we're gonna play this Lost Boyz joint, the original version of Renee, which was on the first album. And we'll be right back. We have Cooler Ruler Divine, Mecca Music. Actually, I should say special edition of Mecca Music, because normally we come on every Thursday night at 9 p.m. But you know what? That's my boy. That's my man. Just like he came in the clutch, we're here at the clutch. Let's go. We'll be right back. Lost Boyz, Renee.
What's the nigga game? I keep my shoulders fresh. Yo, gonna take it here though. I'm gonna take it here. Again, the love is the law that we live by. Day by day, I wonder why my shorty at the top. I reminisce over my ghetto princess say day. Here's a tune about the girl named Renee that I met one day on my way back from John Jay. I peep a shorty as she's walking to the train. I tap her on the shoulder. Excuse me, miss, but can I get your name? She said my name is Renee. I said I got a whole lot to say. So may I walk you to the subway? She said if you want. So yo, we started talking. I brought 2 francs and 2 drinks and we began walking. I had to see where her head was at, cause the gear was mad fat. So we must chat about this and that. She told me what she was in school for. She wants to be a lawyer. In other words, shorty studies law. I'm telling shorty I'm a writer. And as she's looking for a token, she drops a package of the easy wiper. Covers her mouth with a name ring. I said, yo, don't sweat the technique, shorty rocks. I do the same thing, but yet I use Philly blunts. She said I never fuck a Philly blunt because I heard that for silly stunts. I said, nah, they burn slower. Right now I really don't know you, but maybe later on I could get to show you. She said, yeah, and gave a nigga cheeks again. I'm thinking to myself, now this could be more than just hit and skin. Yo, this could be a relationship, but I caught myself, cause I know how I'm a relationship. So ghetto love is the law that we live by. Day by day I wonder why my shorty at the top. I reminisce over my ghetto princess every day. Give it up for my soul. A ghetto love is the law that we live by. Day by day I wonder why my shorty at the top. I reminisce over my ghetto princess every day. Give it up for my shorty. So now we sitting on the train. Besides the fingernails, shorty got the hairdo with pain. Man, understand she got flavor. A tough leather jacket with some jeans and the chain that her moms gave her. Got off the train about 6:34. She wasn't sure she had grub for the dog, so we hit the store. Went to the crib and turned the lights on. A crazy magazine stand from Essence to right on. I left the couch stereo system with crazy CDs. Understand, kid, she got cheese. She said, Cheeks, do what you want. She said, I'm gonna feed the dog. I said, alright, well, I'ma roll this blunt. She came back with stretch pants and a ponytail and t-shirt. Hey, yo, top, I got a tenderoni girl. We're sitting on the couch chatting. We're smoking blunts off the balcony. We're staring at Manhattan. Started feeling on my chest. I started feeling on the breast. And there's no need for me to stress the rest. Hey, yo, I got myself a winner. I sparked the blunt before we ate. And the blunt after we ate dinner. She had a tattoo. She only wanted to go to see. But first, then the lights and turn up the Jodeci. I'm like, whatever, shorty rock, we could swing it like that. Cause on the strength, this is never sad. Ghetto love is the law that we live by. Day by day, I wonder why my shorty at the top. I reminisce over my ghetto princess every day. Give it up for my shorty. Ghetto love is the law that we live by. Day by day, I wonder why my shorty at the top. I reminisce over my ghetto princess every day. Give it up for my shorty. I woke up the next day on the waterbed, the letters on the pillow, and this is what the letter said. It said, Cheeks, I be home around 2. You was deep in your sleep, so I didn't wanna bother you. I left my number for shorty to call me later. Got dressed, smoked the blunt, and then that bounced towards the elevator. I got the beep around 3. I'm asking shorty, what's up with you? She's asking, what's up with me? Hey yo, we been together for weeks, it's candlelight. Dinner with my shorty, crack a 40 with the naughty freaks. Hey yo, I never been in love, but every time I'm versing in and out of state, it's shorty that I'm thinking of. I'm hanging out with my crew. I get the beat from Renee, because Renee uses code too. But yet I'm chatting with the mom dukes. She says Renee's been shot, so Cheeks, meet me up at St. Luke's. I jump on the van with it. I gotta make it dead quick. Hey yo, this shit is getting mad thick. Not even thinking of the bowl 9. I'm doing the vocal just a fuck. I'm smoking boom and the whole 9. I gotta see what's going on. And by the time I reach the hospital, they tell me Mr. Cheeks, Renee's gone. I'm pouring it, I bought my shorty who ain't here. I'm from the ghetto, so listen, this is how we said out there. A ghetto love is the law that we live by. Day by day, I wonder why my shorty at the door. I reminisce over my ghetto princess every day. Give it up for my shorty. A ghetto love is the law that we live by. Day by day, I wonder why my shorty at the door. I reminisce over my ghetto princess every day. Give it up for my shorty. A ghetto love is the law that we live by. Day by day, I wonder why my shorty at the door. I reminisce over my ghetto princess every day. Give it up for my shorty, Renee.
Yes, we're back again. Mecca Music Special Edition on Get Yourz Radio with our guest, Cooler Ruler Divine. That was the original version of Renee you just heard from the Lost Boyz' first album. Yo, Ruler, real quick before we get into this other topic, original version of Renee. What happened? You know, in other words, you guys did that one first or whatever. Obviously, that wasn't the one on the album, but like, what went down with that?
It was too dirty.
It was too grimy, too gritty.
It made it to the album. Yeah, it did make it to the album actually. But when you know the Lost Boyz had 2 deals, they were signed to Uptown Records.
Right.
And then Uptown went under or whatever, and then they moved to Universal with like the same kind of, you know, the same album.
Right.
But when they moved to Universal, they did some alterations, and Renee got altered.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I guess they really was trying to, well, I know why. The A&R was really trying to make it a bigger record than what it was. And I ain't mad at that, because it's humongous. You know what I'm saying? It's part of what helped make me who I am today.
Right,
you know
right. Right, because not to mention that you did write the hook to Renee, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
but,
right.
you know something, not for nothing, everybody that heard the original version, that version or whatever, was like, yo, I remember this, I was looking for this, I wanted this so bad. Like,
right.
I'm like, man, it's crazy how people, like, you can't never really pick what the public would really like. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
just try to guess.
Right. I mean, you know what? I think especially in that time, in that era right there, if you remember, Ruler, like, that actually used to happen a lot. Like, not only to the Lost Boyz, but a lot of cats that you know, when they came out, especially like with their first album, a lot of the songs that were hot, they weren't actually like the original version to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember, for example,
they made a video.
Yeah.
It was like a different beat under the video or something. Yeah,
right. That used to happen a lot. You know what I mean? Like, you would get a single sometimes or something, like there would be a B-side, you know what I mean, with a different version, that then all of a sudden you can't find it nowhere. That used to happen. I remember, like, the Brand Nubians, that happened to them on their first album. Actually, we just did a show this Saturday, man, like I said earlier, in memory of DJ Sub Rock from the group KMD. And they had tons of songs, man, that when we used to hear it, you know what I mean, the rough cut, the first one, the beats were all crazy, and then they would go and change it up for the album or whatever. You know, that's all cool though, man. But now let's get into this little topic that we were talking about before. For everybody that doesn't know, Music of My Time will be out tomorrow. You shot a video for it, I believe, and it's out to, you know, I saw the link out today. I saw the video today.
For the title song. The whole discography is called Music of My Time.
Right.
I shot a video for the title song. Yeah.
Right. So talk a little bit about it. How was the process with the video and everything? Where did you shoot it at?
Video kind of where it came together. I don't know. Like it really came together like fast. Like, just let's do it, and the ideas were just flowing. And it wasn't nothing. It was more conceptual. And what's crazy is that I'm also wanting to put more on the top 5. Like, I was really focused on, I wanted to have a top 5 conversation, argument, or whatever, you know what I mean? Cause that's classic, you know what I'm saying? But it wound up not being the whole, you know, like the main part of the video. It was just, I guess the vibe was better, you know what I'm saying? So we wound up just making it more so like a performance video and sneaking the top 5 in at the end.
Right. Okay, I got you. It makes sense. But to me, I think it kind of worked out. It almost looks like you can actually, like, make another video that would be like a continuation to that or something, you know?
I just might. But I was thinking about that. Like you said, my thoughts was going. As I was watching the video, I was like, ooh, what can I do? And I might just thinking of doing that.
Okay. Now, this was the interesting part that I was saying before we took the break to hear Lost Boyz Renee's joint. At the end of the video, you guys are like chilling in the park, in the bench or whatever, having a discussion, like you said, about, you know, MCs or top 5. Now, the video goes off. The last thing that we hear is you saying how Biggie, you know, Biggie Smalls, didn't really move you like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know.
Biggie was this. We could curse?
Yeah, of course.
No. Alright. Biggie was the shit. Biggie, y'all love Biggie, man. Like I said, you didn't hear the rest of the conversation.
Right.
I was comparing, listening to who I was comparing him to. My top 5 includes Eminem and Ghostface.
Oh.
And somebody threw Big up in there, and I was like, yeah, Big, you know what I mean? Like, I got tons of love for Big. It's just like when it comes to my you know, like Big wasn't a battle rapper per se. We all know this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Big was a battle rapper. He was a you know, he just had that charisma that you just loved. You had to hear when you want to hear some regular music, you know what I mean, that you just want to listen to.
Right.
Big was that man for that. You know what I'm saying? But when it came to like Big Stories was popping, but his stories is not like Ghostface stories or M stories. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's what it was. I just said, and I said, if you people, I said, and they didn't. I said,
right.
It ain't enough for me. You know what I'm saying? Well, he just wasn't enough for me. Well, what? I got every Big album. You know, I'm a big fan.
Nah. I mean, I know that. You know what I'm saying? But just for anybody that might catch the video, you know what I mean, and is wondering, like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But now this is why I was saying that it was interesting.
Controversy is good.
Yeah, of course.
That's great. Controversy sells records. Yes, sir.
Now, like I said, it was interesting to me because without talking to you right now, I was just thinking like, wow, you know something? I've never really heard somebody really say that like Biggie was whack, or they, you know, Biggie wasn't all of that. I just never really heard that. So it just really, it just caught my attention, man.
Yeah.
You know? But now, your top...
Big deserves the crown that he had.
Yeah, true. Yo, you know what I found out also? I saw somebody say, who was it, man? It was actually an artist, too, that said this. I think it was this cat named Rex. But he said that Nas, like, I guess, like, now, like, all of Nas' body of work, you know what I'm saying, up until now. And, like, he was putting him, not, like, saying, okay, you know what, like, now I could put him up there with, like, Biggie. And I was like, wow, like, Biggie puts out...
Wow.
Yeah, it was like, yo, I'm not gonna quote him word for word, but it was to that effect, like saying, like, you know what I mean, like it's one of the greatest. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, wow. It took like Biggie did.
I'm calling up to the show right now. He's listening.
Yo,
Big didn't have nearly as much albums as Nas had.
No,
Nas followed a whole a theme through his whole career. He stuck to it. Like no matter if it hurt him or helped him. You know what I'm saying? Right. And another thing is, he got his way sometimes. I always say Nas, he lets the words, he tries to let the words do the job too much. Like sometimes he don't deliver his verses, but he can't. From what I understand, the people saying,
sometimes they have a whack beat.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Okay, well people go, you know, they go through their ups and downs, but Nas is still here. Nas is still here, and he's still far more relevant than your new artist. You understand what I'm saying? So people need to put everything in perspective when they talk about Nas. They don't really, you know what I mean? He's one of the great names from Queens. That's why I gotta give him an extra push. You know what I'm saying? Always great. Well, last thing I want to say about go back to his history. Look how Nas came in the game with halftime and all that. Nas was that man. You know what I'm saying? He came harder than anybody else. Like he didn't have to like be the bad guy like 50. He didn't have to do too much. Nas just rap. He just got on that mic and just got in front of it, and he did what everybody want to do. Just get in front of them, you know what I mean? Get in front of the crowd and woo them. But that don't work for everybody. They got to do some other thing or something else. You know what I'm saying? Nas didn't have it. You know?
Indeed.
True. Yeah. Now, without being biased, Ruler, what borough do you think, or in your opinion, has produced some of the best artists out? Say it again.
Which borough has produced the best art? Which borough produced the best artists?
Yeah. What borough has the best artists come out from? Without being biased either.
The most artists. I think the most artists came out of Brooklyn.
Brooklyn?
Most artists came out of Brooklyn.
Get it right. That's right.
And some of your favorite street artists. A lot of your favorite street artists came from Brooklyn.
Okay.
A lot of your groundbreaking artists came from Queens. I go back to Salt Peppers, Kid and Plays, those type of artists. You understand? Those are the artists that want to make movies, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Those type of artists or whatever. Like M.O.P. was one of my favorite groups of all time. They ain't never made a movie or crossed over. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Meanwhile, Kid from Kid and Play is now a comedian, and he played like that. But now he, you know. So I'm just trying to.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Now let's talk about you, like as far as yourself. You know what I mean? When it comes to the MCing and the rhyming, which I'm like I said, bro, I'm happy for what you're doing right now because I've been waiting, but not 100%. Not 100%. I'll be 100% happy with you, bro, when I hear that album come out with Ruler Divine spitting on the whole album. That's when I'm gonna be.
Let's see how it goes. I mean, that's the plan.
I know what yo.
I'm sure they're gonna force me to rhyme more a lot now. You know what I mean? So, can I tell you, that's all music of my time, by the way, I just sidewalk. That was like my intent. That was just a freestyle. You know what I'm saying? But I always take my freestyle to the next level. Not when I say freestyle, not off the top. It was a written freestyle.
Right.
That type of freestyle. But it was all, you know, it was like just meant for like a mixtape. You know what I'm saying? Like a regular mixtape, not this type of mixtape. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't put, but it came out so good, like it got so much of a good response that, hey.
Yeah, nah, it's cool though. It's cool, and it fits for what you're trying to do right now also, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You know? But now, I want to know your sound, you know what I'm saying, as far as your sound. Like, for example, I know, you know, there's different type of sounds when it comes to hip-hop music, you know what I mean? You have what some people might call the conscious type of hip-hop and, you know, the street, whatever, the gangster. Do you fall under any particular category?
I don't usually like to say this, but you could mix, like I gotta go back though, these are old school artists. You gotta mix De La in with Nas, Rakim, with a tad, a little G-Rap. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I guess that's it. Okay. And some KRS.
But now, when it comes to you working with another artist, for example, like somebody that you might say, okay, you know, this is somebody I would like to work with. What is it that you look for in that artist? Like, what is it they have to come to you with?
They gotta be ready. They gotta be confident enough to make me confident in them. I mean, screw what their music sound like, because a lot of times you never can tell if an artist's gonna be hot. They might do something that sound whack right away, but then you play it 3 or 4 times, you're like, yo, this is genius. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on how much confidence they got in themselves. I honestly don't care what's on the tape or what's on the CD, unless, you know, I see that person is focused. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay, so now I'm gonna mention a couple of artists to you, and I just want you to tell me, you know, what you think about them, or what's the first thing that comes to mind. Like when I say, let's see, Papoose.